Hey guys, George Lynch, Legendary Gear. Waterfowl season's winded all down and pretty much over throughout the country. Snow goose is kicking in. You guys at Snow Goose Hunt that drive and chase those snow geese. For those who don't, who are tired at the end of the season, yet still want to get better and thinking about this coming season, now's the time to pick up that goose call. Pick it back up, start working, and perfect practice makes perfect is what I always say. So we're gonna go in this video, and this video is all about the beginner and basic between hand placement, lip placement, and from the air control through everything to get a guy from start to get going to getting to be able to do that cluck and fast cluck and then pick up to moans and be able to hit that goose field. Our job and our objective is trying to make you better. So what I'm going to do, say it, is it the only way? I'm not going to say it's the only way. I'm going to say it's the way that I've learned and that I've used over the years, and I've helped train other people. It's probably the easiest, still takes practice, but the easiest methods that I've found to work with other people, get them start and sounding like a duck or a goose hunter out in the field. So get ready, sit back. We're getting ready to take off. We're going to show you exactly how to pick up a call from start to finish.
All right, let's go for it, George.
All right.
What call are you going to use today?
What we're going to use today is our little alpha. This is pretty much our mid-range goose call. I picked this. I like a real short, fast, aggressive call. But this call, basically, I want to show you how to get the deeper moans and basically how to start off with clucks. This is a great beginner call, meteor call. This is a good contest call. The alpha was designed basically to do everything in the field. So what we're going to do, the first thing we're going to talk about, and I equate everything to hunting to baseball. And then the reason that is that you cannot be a 300 hitter with a poor batting stance. You're not going to be a great goose caller or duck caller with poor hand positioning, poor hand placement. So the number one thing we're gonna start and show you, and I like to, pretty much all your calls. This is a semi-broken gut. We use a semi-broken gut, which is great because it allows you to be able to get the trains, the spits, all those special notes that guys like to do. But it's not over broke. That takes a lot of air, and if you don't have the air, it makes the call sound flat. So it's allowed the average caller to get fast and aggressive when we need to get those geese to turn around and come in. So this is our semi-broken gut into the alpha. I like to always, if I can, I like to blow with the reed. You'll see in the reed this position, the reed up, get her to go. And
reed
you'll
up
notice
based on the engraving.
And I like to, pretty much when we tune these, you'll see the graving and the guts. That's pretty much how we like to blow. This barrel can be turned, but I like to operate the call like this if I can. So then once we got the call in our hand, we're gonna work on hand placement. Super simple. I'm right-handed. You're left-handed, you're just gonna take this to, if you're left-handed. If you're right-handed, I'm gonna take this call, and I like to put it right in the apex between the thumb and forefinger. Thumb and forefinger. We're going to close it down like this. Now I've seen people who will do this, they grab the call and choke it off. This is very important that the hand placement is, because when I'm sitting and doing this, I am not relieving the air. And what I'm going to talk about, there's basically two air presentations. So there's two. There's going to be a back pressure and then there's forward pressure.
What does that mean?
And all those have to do with your air. You've heard so much about being able to get those clucks and those moans. What we're going to teach you as a basic caller, in my opinion, two important things here. The most important, whether it's duck call, turkey calling, goose calling, predator calling, it's the hand placement and air control. So many guys don't realize that everything is run and pushed up by air. Why is air important? Because air comes through and it oscillates that reed. Without air, I'm not going to get that reed to lift up. Now, if you're a grunter who likes to grunt into a call, without the air, all I'm doing, you heard that vibration, is vibrating that reed. Again, air presentation, duck call, everything is that we bring it up. Now, when I say air presentation, you'll see when I'm talking, when we start getting into the exercise, air presentation isn't blowing. That's why we say we don't blow a call. We operate a call. the air comes up, and the air is used from your diaphragm. We suck up that air. The guttural sound, all the old timers said, man, the good guttural sound comes from your gut. You got to bring that up. Let me tell you, the only sound that your gut makes goes out the other end. You got to bring air from the diaphragm up to the larynx, and then the air from the larynx vibrates and then pushes it through. The lips that you'll watch a lot of guys when they call, I call lip calling. They want to kiss the call. They're doing that. You're always going to have that high pitch because we have no volume of air. All we're getting is a short burst of air with the lips. The lips have to seal the call. And what I like my instruction with it, to get in your head, that my air comes up here and stops. See, when we breathe up, where does it go? It stops here. And what happens from there? It sucks up. And when we let out and we let a sign, hear the air? Now, when the air is coming up, it's not still going out. The way the fundamentals and the basics of it. So you see, it's a two-part deal. Air comes up, sucks up, and then from the base of my throat, hear that? I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. It sounds like a leaking air tire. When I'm sucking up, and then the air, the lips now, the important of the lips make the diameter of the hole that I'm pushing the air through. Now I hope we're making sense. And now I'm going to take that you can get the physical, the logistics of this. Take a garden hose. You got a garden hose, turn on your faucet. There goes the water. What happens when I start constricting that water pressure? It forces the water to be in splurges. It purges that water, pushes it, and that's what the airflow. You got to understand, airflow is kind of like the water flow. You get that in your head. So air presentation is so. Take a diaphragm. Same thing of a turkey. We put the diaphragm in. A lot of guys, and they sound not like a turkey. You're listening to your great callers, and this is where it's going to make the huge difference in your transition. I know some of you guys have talked to me in shows out there. Some guys who've gotten interested in contest calling have asked me and said, hey, I've been told I need to work on my transitions. First thing I tell them, here's what they mean. What do they mean by that? And I said, it's about your air presentation. How to learn to get your air, how to present it, and then control it. Pinch it, push it, pinch it, push it. When I can do that, see, that's what pushes the larynx and the voice inflection into that call, being controlled by air. So once we start understanding that's the logistics of making a call operate, now we can start thinking up here and getting the motor skills. Is all I'm going to teach you is teaching you the motor skills to push it in to this welly design chamber of what we call a goose call. So again, like I said, it's not blowing a call. It's about air presentation. Two types of air presentation you'll have to remember. There's forward pressure and then back pressure. Back pressure, which is both are air related. What it does, it forces that air back in by being controlled. Again, I'm not choking this, which nothing can escape. That's the physics. It's not allowing. So it's pushing. What happens? It locks the reed up. Okay. And you'll watch a lot of guys, especially guys with big hands, will have a problem because they close that call and they got the big hands and big fingers. They basically leave everything choked off, but they like that because they lip call. Wow, that call sounds good. And they're lip calling, but they're just basically doing a basic cluck. And we want to learn to get past that. And I'm trying to teach you how to roll and change the transitions. But perfect practice makes perfect. Not just practice. We're going to try to teach you the right way. So here we're going to go. We're going to go with thumb and forefinger, wrapped around the call. So
What?
I don't break the call
What?
over. What I like to do is raise my middle finger up. By raising the middle finger up, you see how I created a pocket right there? So what it does, I can control that just like that, but I'm not choking the call where I can still let air. Now, what I'm going to teach you, now we talked about that, we're going to go from what I call is the speaker. This one does the tone. It gives you the different tones is your offhand. It's the woofer of your speaker. So what I like to do is take this offhand, like I'm pouring water. It's the way it's been. It's about how we talk about it for years. Act like you're pouring water into a hand. You're going to drink it. See how I have no gaps in my hand? I have everything capsulated and controlled. I come up, we bring it thumb to thumb. See how we do that, thumb to thumb? Basically, that is my middle goose. That is the goose that we're going to start. See how we have it over here? I'm not doing this. I'm not choking the call. I see guys do this, and I call this the praying goose hunter. Basically, this hand isn't doing anything. I'm able to change pitches just with this hand right here. And you'll start learning, and we'll learn that. Changing the hand position with the air presentation will allow the different pitches in your calling. So we're going to work on that too. So basically, we're going to take, that is our middle goose. Now I'm going to teach you the part of starting with that air presentation. And what I like to do, we used to do he, do ha, and that worked pretty good. But what I'm doing, we've changed a little bit, evolved in the years. So I'm going to do something where I like to be is a little more advanced because it's going to help you when we get to the part 2 and the part 3. So what we're going to do is starting with my air. I'm not going to do the he, and it worked real good for you to hear the vibration. But I don't want you to focus so much on the he as I'm going to teach my larynx to hum. Huck, 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 huck. Now you see, remember how I told you we bring the air up here and it locks? And then when we want to get that sound, it is a muscle here that pushes it. We're not blowing huck, 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 huck. How we're doing that, and it's pushing into the call. So I'm gonna hum in this a little bit. Now you hear how that had that nice, beautiful one sound right there. The pitch of that, if you drew that line of that pitch, you want that line as straight as can be on that. To a beginner who doesn't know voice and air control, he'll start off. You're all over the place. You haven't done any muscle memory. So what I'm going to do is, this is the exercise. It's teaching you hand positioning, it's teaching you lip positioning, and it's going to teach you air control. So I'm starting out again. I like the hum, because when I do the he, we start pushing that. And then when we get to the end, it's so aggressive that we can't, it's hard to back that off. It ends up you're doing your notes in 2 parts. And when you start getting to the advanced version where we're starting to run through our transitions, we will understand what I'm talking about when we get there. I don't want to confuse you yet. I still want to keep your attention. Get the hum. Air. Hum, hum. Now I like to push that note as long as I can, and it's teaching me, hey, when I hear that starting to, if it's dragging and scratching on me, it teaches, I'm going to throw a little more air in it. I want to clear that sound out. If it's getting too loud, then I'll back up. But it's teaching me the air and my larynx at the same time. Hum is giving my beginning of my geese. It's getting you So we're getting that hum, hum, hum. Now, reason that's important, when I talked about my air presentation and the transition, we're going to hum, uck, hum, uck, hum, uck. That uck is going to be the part where here pushes the air up. That's your voice inflection. Uck, uck, Uck. You see, my tongue's not saying it. My lips aren't saying it. Uck, uck, uck. Now you hear that hum? Uck, uck, uck. Now, because I'm humming, you hear that uck, uck. Easy to push. Now, reason I'm gonna once we got that, we start lengthening it out. I'm gonna show you why that's important. Now, that is a honk. You hear that honk? We're taking that uck, uck. My hand position isn't changing. I'm not. You watch, guys. Don't worry about that. Keep your middle goose. The only thing that I can tell you that when we're one of the other things I can tell you is that when we're humming and I'm bringing the air comes up, we suck it up and then we push it up the huck, huck, huck. Now when I'm getting to the huck, I'm actually using my lip on the CK. On the CK, my lip is coming up. My tongue, I shouldn't say my lip, but my tongue comes, the middle of my tongue comes to the roof of my mouth. Huck, 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 huck. Now you hear what I just showed you right there was the practice in the long honk. I started shortening it. And then once you start learning the muscle control in your throat, then I can start speeding my clucks up. And it's all controlled from here. You wonder how these guys doing it. He's put the triple clucks, the double clucks, everything. Huck, 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 huck. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I just wanted to get you guys sitting there listening. Oh, I see what he's talking about. Okay, I can see where that's taking us. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to build that baseline for you to learn and understand. So again, what did we learn? We learned hand positioning, thumb and forefinger, middle finger comes up, offhand, thumb to thumb, lip, and lips very important. Like this was a bottle of Coca-Cola. Bottom lip under, and I like to seal my top lip right there. Now you heard that sounds pretty simple. That's just doing the honks. Now, what I want to, once we master that and you understand we have to crawl, then walk before we can run. So what I'm teaching you is the crawling part. Very important. This is the foundation. And I'm reason I keep going over this and I try to be as thorough as I can because it's so important that you understand it up here because this can tell this and this what to do. That's why it's very important. You just can't be blowing air and when you're hunting with your buddies and you think you sound really good until you walk off by yourself because you were just blowing into the call. What I'm trying to say is I'm teaching you not just to blow and make this thing make a sound. I'm teaching you how to make this thing sound like a goose, how it was designed. So we got the hand pressure, we got to the air. Once we get that long honk, remember again, I'm humming. I'm not doing the real not doing that. I'm teaching my voice, my air coming up, locking it. And you're teaching, just like if you're blowing a musical instrument, I'm teaching it to go out slow, increasing as it goes, and then I decrease it at the end. It isn't the same air pressure. You know, it starts slow, increases, then boom, we lock it off. So here, this is, we're going to practice again. Hear how nice and beautiful this hum sounds. Again, this is an exercise that you need to do. You're first going to do it and say, man, this doesn't sound like a goose. But it's going to teach you to learn to control that call. We're going to control your air, control your voice. Now I'm going to make this call what I want it to do. Now, once we got it to there, once you got the honk, and once you got your hand positioning, the tongue and your air, a great little exercise, what I want you to do is that we're going to practice. And remember, it has to be repetitive, and you have to imprint that into here. So what we want to do, we're creating muscle memory. So this little exercise, I want you to do 10 honks. And what we want to do, we want to take these 10 honks, and then as we start getting them, and as we go, you'll go through and crawl through the 10 honks. Then we're going to shorten that up and speed it up a little bit, and then 10 clucks. And then when I can do 10 clucks without making a mistake, then we speed those 10 clucks up again. If you make a mistake, you start over and stay at that same speed until you master that speed. Then the next step is you just keep going a little faster, pushing it a little faster. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So here's going to be the 10 slow honks. The humming. Tip of my tongue when I hit the and your tongue will show you what to do from years of talking and learning to use your tongue to pronunciate words. Your tongue will automatically start reacting, but you have to teach the tongue, the tip of it to me, to lock in place. What I'm saying is, when I'm building that air pressure up, the tongue is sealing, the lips and the tongue is sealing. I can't just turn that tongue loose, because what happens? The air pressure gauge drops. So I got to keep that tongue up to keep that pressure, and then you pop it and use that tongue to snap it. Hope that makes sense. But anyway, we're going to show the long honk. We've got 10 honks here. Now I'm going to speed this next one up and speed it up a little more. Once we get there again, now we're going to speed it up a little more. Now you'll start to see when I'm doing that hum, everything gets shortened when you start shortening it, but the hum is so good because it's starting to bass, so I'm hunk, 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 hunk. So you can see how that honk, turn it into the cluck, then speeding that up, gives you that basic sound. And like I said, you don't move on until you the practice. And if you make a mistake, start back over, hit it slow, get it to it. It comes automatic to you. The muscle memory, that is your basic Goose. So easy, Goose 101. We're going to go in the next videos. We're going to start picking up to a little bit more and further that. We're going to further the repertoire. We're going to start teaching you how to get different pitch clucks and going from there to the most important thing, the moan, which is very important. I believe in the first two videos that we're going to do is the basic. It's awesome. If you learn and mastered the second video, you'll kill just as many geese as if I mastered the third. Maybe. It's just number two is the basics. It's going to be clucking and moaning. We've done that for years. It's killed geese. And the third video one we're going to do is we're going to take it up to the advanced calling, which everybody's done. You know, I'll talk in the last 10 years, we've made a jump to everybody spitting out and the train and hiccuping. We're going to teach you all that advanced. Does that make you kill more geese? My opinion, no. I'm going to say that right here. We've been killing geese for a long time, just clucking and moaning. So you guys out there, I've had so many guys call me and say, hey, dude, I can't do a spit note. Wow. Yeah, you mean quit being a goose hunter. I guess you need to hang up your cleats. But no, you don't have to hang. Don't worry. If you can't, the spit note will come. You know, I use spit notes out there only because it's in my repertoire. There's times it works, times it doesn't. But if you can learn to control and sound like a goose and your cluck and moans and your tempos and hit those transitions and learning to hit the rhythms and not human rhythm, but a goose rhythm, dude, you're in the ball game. So stay tuned, follow all these videos, but happy to bring them to you. It's been a lot of years and experience of doing this. If you have any questions, give me a shout. Reach out on legendarygearusa.com. I'm George Lynch.
You want to end it just with a little, just fun calling?
Okay. There you go, folks. Stay tuned. LegendaryGearUSA.com.